I was excited when I got my first sale, but I was so, and I mean so, freaking nervous. You know, the idea is, you imagine when you get your first sale, you're just doing something, you're doing it for the heck of it, and you imagine when you get your first sale, it's gonna be this big, honestly, you think it's gonna be like a family thing, because I wasn't trying to sell anything. So you figure some family member is gonna come up and they're gonna be like, oh, I want one, right? And so there's a certain level of the idea of getting that first sale, if you're trying to do that, where you're thinking, oh, it'll be no big deal, it's gonna be a family member anyway. The thing was, it wasn't a family member, it was a friend, but it was something that somebody who I'd had a short relationship with as a friend. So they were a new friend, and the wonderful part is they were insistent on paying me and saying, hey, don't try to undercut it. You know, if you want something for it, at least charge me for the materials. And so I know I definitely appreciated that aspect of it. But it was also the idea of, it was a new friend who wasn't a family member, who wasn't somebody who kind of may give you that grace, but you still want to do such a good job for it. And you're sitting up there and you're thinking like, crap, do I know how to do this? And I've been doing it for 2 years at this point, you know? So it's not like this was something I didn't know how to do or hadn't done for myself, but it's very different when you're doing it for somebody else and when the goal is, I want to make sure I do this great for you, especially since it's the first time somebody was paying me. So I can't even lie and say that, hey, you know, man, like I was excited, but boy, I was nervous to do that joint right. That elation, that emotion, that moment of having completed it and having done something and having him liked it, that is so akin to the concept of timeless wonder. The way that story worked out is, this friend was in band with me. Like I said, oftentimes the first one you get is going to be someone who knows you. But was a new friend. We didn't have a super long history and we had played music together. But definitely not to the point of where I'm thinking, okay, let me charge you for something I'm just kind of doing for fun. But I guess in some ways, that's one of those things where as a human being, as a person who's doing something, we worry about, we think about, we doubt ourselves, especially when you're talking about being a creative person. You sit there and you doubt yourself. And he had seen the hats that I had made for myself. We were gigging together. I was wearing hats frequently around him. He had seen the hats that I'd made, so he knew what they were, how they looked, how they felt, had a good idea of what I could do. But let's be honest, that doesn't mean you're not going to be nervous about it. And so he came to me and he said, I want this hat. I want this very specific hat in this very specific color. Can you do that? And I had created something very, not similar, but I had done all the processes in a different place, in a different time, and in a different environment. So I had done all the things, I just had not put all the things into the same place as this one had. And so I said, yeah, I can do that. I can make that work. Just give me a little bit of time. I mean, the biggest problem was that I didn't have a block for his size, so I had to get that portion. But even having done all the parts, even having done everything with it, I was still nervous, crazy nervous. And it wasn't at that time. At that time, I still wasn't even thinking like I'm gonna go sell these. That's not even what was on my mind. But when somebody gives you money for something, when somebody asks you for something, I'd like to be able to give my word. I like to make sure that what I'm saying I'm willing to do is something I can hold to. And for me, there's a lot of you to agree. If you agree to it, you have to keep your word. And even if it takes years, which it has at times, to meet the promise that I've given, even if it takes longer than expected to do the thing that I've said I would do, I still want to make sure if I say I'm going to do it, that I will do it. And so that created such nervousness for me. I think that's one of the things that we often don't think about in life. That one, we're oftentimes our most critical analysts. Like we criticize ourselves the most, especially for creatives. We criticize ourselves the most. We doubt ourselves the most. We block ourselves the most. And there's something about somebody else coming into the picture and saying, hey, try this, or I want you to do this for me.
I was so dead set on not selling hats. It was probably the fourth or fifth person who asked me that I finally decided I would go ahead and do it. And even then, it was my wife who said, you should go ahead and do it and just give it a try.
One of the things we miss as we become adults is there is an expectation to know everything and to do everything perfectly the moment you learn how to do it. And when you're a child, when you have that timeless wonder, when you have that whimsy about you, that youthfulness about you, that thing about you that allows you not to be overly stressed, then you just invite new opportunities and you invite new things to happen that you sometimes forget how to do when you're older at least. And so you're looking at this thing and thinking, oh, can I do that? Can I make that happen? Will that work for me? Will I mess this up? And you start having all these things, all these different types of panics and stresses and worries that you learn to have as you got older that you just didn't have as a child. You lose touch with the ability to just go out and have fun. You lose touch with the wonderful thing of putting whatever you wanted on, whatever you want on. You know, one of the cutest things is walking out in a store and you see a little girl dressed in her princess outfit, her princess skirt with her soccer jersey and some little block heels or some tennis shoes, whatever they are. You know it's not a matching set. And it's absolutely adorable because even though it's not a matching set, that's what she wanted to wear that day. It's like you see the little young kid walking around in his Spider-Man outfit, and it's the middle of March or April. We're nowhere near Halloween, but he wanted to wear that Spider-Man top. And you lose sometimes that whimsy as you get older. You sacrifice that whimsy as you get older. And we forget how much that whimsy, how much that free spirit, how much that lack of being limited helped us so much in life just to be really, truly authentic to ourselves, because we start worrying about what the other person's going to think. And we think about peer pressures being something that's in high school and college, but I can guarantee you the number of people who as adults are suffering from peer pressure is no less, no fewer than high school. And so we've got to reconnect to those childlike things, reconnect to free thinking, reconnect to being like, hey, this is what I want to wear, so I'm wearing it. I want to do this, so I'm doing it. I want to sing, and I sound awful, but I'm just going to do it because it fills my life with joy. And let's be honest, my singing ain't hurting anybody, so why not? You have to be open to those things happening in life, to those things just being normally a part of your life. And that's one thing we don't want to lose. That's one thing I especially don't want to lose. So in many ways, that's so much of why I approach the art like I do. I approach the art the way I do because I want to make sure I hold on to that whimsy. I want to make sure I hold on to that piece of life that allows me to just enjoy and have fun. I want to make sure I try new things, like this hat right here where I'm trying something completely new. So if you're looking at it and wondering what's that finish, I'm doing new stuff, I'm trying new things. And when I get done with it, I'm gonna wear it. I have a commitment to myself. When I finish a hat, I have to wear it within 2 days. No matter what it looks like, I have to wear it within 2 days, just to keep the commitment to myself, to remember to have the whimsy, to remember to have the joy, to remember just to go out and do things and have fun and not worry about this opinion or that thing and that thing, to just lock into myself and commit to myself just the joy of life and living. And so that's a good antidote for timeless wonder. That's a good antidote for why and how I do these hats. It's a good antidote for just how I approach life.